as promised, on part two of the Hero video. So we're starting off with what not to do on this video. So this is how I'm doing lairs now. So as long as I've been playing the game, which is just shy of 2 years, was under the belief that it was pretty much only the lair leader or initiator of the lair whose heroes mattered. Like those who joined was kind of just more there for support, but their heroes didn't really do much unless you was doing it as a duo and it's specific to their troop type. Lately, I think it's about a week now, I've been testing this out with other teammates in my alliance, where I've actually come to determine that those who join their heroes can be used to stack and piggyback to add to the main leaders, the initiator of the rally troop. So previous video I showed you I'm fighter, I showed you my fighter heroes and their tactical skills. And so what I'm doing now is I'm actually asking for people when they join lairs to actually send their fighter heroes with rider troops. Like I said, I need those rider troops to ensure that Wally's tactical skill activates. But I've done tests where I've did just troop specific heroes where they don't have any attributes that goes directly towards fighters. And then I've used where I've had them send heroes that do have fighter attack boost or fighter defense, fighter HP boost. And the numbers were different. The ones that actually had specific stats for my fighters, those lair percentages and casualties was actually better than just doing the troop specific heroes joining. So it's not just a tactical skill, at least in my tests and findings, that matters from the support people in your lairs, but it's also the troop specific boost. So now getting into what not to do. So in this video, I asked for fighter heroes, rider troops. So we have Ulrich, perfect. We have Divana, perfect. Myers, he's troop. And because I'm starting the lair off with fighters, we know Myers' tactical skill from this person that joined my lair is going to activate. Now, the what not to do here is we have Hanyu in here at +0. So although he does have a small amount of fighter specific boost at +0, I am getting no boost from his tactical skill. So the better option here would have been to take Hanyu out of this march and maybe put, let's say, Queenie. She's only a 2-star hero, but she has fighter specific boost stats towards attack and defense, I believe. I'm not sure she has all 3, including the HP, but I know it's 2 at least. And her attack skill should be at +5 for most people, because easy as you're doing your task in Noah Tavern, you're getting those frags for free. So she should be at +5. She would have been a better option to put into this march over Hanyu at +0. The same thing here, looking at all these +1s. This would have been better going down to their 2- and 3-star heroes, fighter heroes, to put in this march to give us stronger stats. So these two, so for right now, let's see, in this march, we had 1, 2, 3, actually, none of these heroes help boost tactical skills on this march from this top person here. The second one, we had a little bit more assistance from Marlowe and Myers, but again, this was not a whole lot of help going on with this march because the +1, the enhancements were way too low. This one that we're looking at would have been perfect. We just take Hanyu out and put him with somebody that had a +5 tax skill, because that's 500% boost added in there. Now let's jump back into the game so I can show a little bit more of the heroes again. So we're back in game. And honestly, now that I'm back in the game, I feel like I've covered most of this already in the first video. So there's really not much new information I can provide here other than what I showed you initially as far as what not to do. But keep in mind when people are asking you to send specific troops to actually make sure that the troop skill actually applies. So, like I said, for this hero, she does not need to be in a march for these raid stats to activate. If you're going to add her in the march, her tax skill will activate to help you out. You just need to make sure that you have fighters in that march to apply that. But we would have instead of using her, even though she's 5-star and I have her at +7, a better hero would be Seo Yoon because I'm getting specific fighter stats with a 500% tactical skill. The same thing here with who was it? Actually, it was these two. So, adoptive mother and daughter. Seo Yoon, she's going to apply everything to fighter, attack skill as well. Mother or adopted mother, hers are going to be troop specific. So she's fighter, but her stats goes towards troops. So if you have to pick between these two, and somebody's asking for fighter heroes, better option is always going to be the hero whose stats specifically applies directly to the main troop being used in that battle over a troop hero. And when I say troop hero, that's different. So I'm looking at where you have actually troop instead of fighter or rider or shooter stats. It just says troop. The specific troop hero, and I know it's confusing because I keep seeing troop and using it interchangeably, but the better hero would be the one that stats applied directly to your troop type or the troop type that you're supporting. Now, let's get into the final part of the video, which is what was the point of all of this? So, when I decided to try this, my solo lair is at 44. Now, when I tried this little strategy that I've been talking about as far as having support from the people that join, having them send heroes that support my type, which is fighter, having them at +5 so I can get the 500% tactical boost, but also having them send fighter heroes that are fighter specific, where I'm getting the fighter attack, fighter defense, or fighter HP, where I'm piggybacking on those. So what happened was I actually had a 2-level lair jump. So I went from soloing to 44, skipped 45 and went straight up to 46 lair, which was very surprising. I've had a couple other people test it out, and same thing for them. They actually gain 2-level lair jump. So let's see, is this? Yeah, so this is my solo here, fighters. And of course, I'm using the 1 troop riders from people that have joined to make sure that my Wally tactical skill activates. Then we go here, so we jump from 44 to the very 46. And here, I believe we had a mix of fighters. Yeah, so this isn't a very good one because one of my teammates actually sent his fighter march, I believe. Yeah. So let me see if I find one. Pretty sure I saved one that was just regular. That one was cars. Nope, still sent the same. Okay, so here we are. So this one still cleared, barely at 51%. But the same thing. This is where I had people that joined sent their fighter heroes. So I can piggyback some of their stats. Of course, a lot of them sent, like I was describing in the video, the what not to do of heroes that I'm not getting very much tactical skill boost from them because they're too low. Like we have Zephyr here at +1. Atropos shouldn't even be in there because there's no fighter specific boost from her. and you am not getting any tactical skill boost from him here, or even Tomayo, and she's a troop hero. She's a fighter hero, but her stats go to troop HP, troop defense, troop attack. But as we showed earlier, there's no tactical skill being activated here at +1 or +0. It starts at +2 and is very minimal, which is why I say start using your lower class heroes, your your 2-stars, 3-star, and 4-star hero, if you have them at +5, so that way they get the 500% tactical skill, and also if they're specific to the troop type that the lair initiator is asking. So if this was a shooter march, I would have everyone send me shooter troops that hopefully are all at +5, and hopefully the majority of them actually boost, shooter attack defense. Let's see, we had another one. What was sent in this one? What was I testing here? Oh, I was testing this with my second march. Same result. So I was wondering why there were shooters in this march. So this one I went down to my second fighter march. In this one I actually have Requiem in there and Marla, which we know are troop heroes. So I needed to make sure that there was shooters in the march so I can make sure that Requiem tactical skill get activated, as well as Dara, and she is a shooter, but she's a shooter that boosts both shooter and fighter attack. So that's why I had them send shooters here, and I had here sent riders so I can make sure that I'm covered here for Marlowe for his tactical skill to activate, or anybody else that may have sent him or Mars in the march. Now, caveat, since I've actually started doing these 2 videos on heroes, it looks like there was an update that actually went out. And at first I thought they completely patched this little exploit that I was using, which allowed me to bump 2 tiers in my zombie lairs. But I actually tested today and found that it's not completely patched. They just nerf the crap out of it. So now when I try running these lairs, I have to be very specific in asking, please only send +5 fighter heroes with rider troops to my march, because without that, I'm failing down at 47, 48%. So now everybody that joins has to send appropriate +5 fighter heroes that have the stats, because I've tested also once again, since I noticed that the patches came through, that troop heroes still do help, but in that case I'm not getting much. It still does apply that if I'm using fighter heroes, people joining the layer send fighter heroes that actually boost fighter stats with the +5 so I can get the tactical. There's still slight difference in there. Now I suggest everybody should be testing, playing around with this info, see if it works for you, because I've seen there's one partner in my alliance where he doesn't seem to be getting the same exact benefit that I'm getting. But I just showed you my primary first march, which should of course be my strongest, and my secondary march with different heroes, fighter heroes, still was able to jump 2 lairs solo, or that's pretty much solo, but take out a 46 without necessarily needing people that have all T11 troops to duo with me. Any questions, concerns, please leave them in the comment section and I will get back to you. And as always, please hit that like and subscribe button. Keep content coming.